Hi guys, welcome to this video and also welcome to this channel because this is going to be the first video in this channel. Let me introduce myself. I'm just a draft enthusiast who likes to ramble about prospects and likes to try to understand who the biggest prospects of the new generations will be. And so to start off, I'm going to try to analyze and give my honest opinion on every pick on the 2025 NBA draft, starting from the bottom of the first round. I'm talking about first round draft picks because I don't think that second round picks are that interesting to people. So I'm starting with the first round, and then if you guys have suggestions for second rounders who might be interesting, just let me know. But today we're starting from the 30th pick, which is Yanic Konan Niederhauser, a 7-foot big man from Switzerland. He was a senior at Penn State and he transferred from Northern Illinois. He's 23 years old, and from the few clips I've seen of him, first thing that stands out are his defense, shot blocking ability, not defensive ability because it's something else, and his size and athleticism, which is something you can teach. But let's just dive into a quick look of him. So we're gonna use this video, which is a season highlights made by Swish. We can see he had made 13 points, 6 rebounds, and more than 2 blocks a game with good efficiency. In his last college season, he's a bit of a late bloomer. I've seen him rise, not as much as Hansen Young. We'll talk about him. I am gonna anticipate this. He's a fan favorite to me too. So, but we are going to talk about him later. So let's just dive into this video. So, shout out to Swish for making this video. We're talking about the number 14, which we see with that sort of an afro looking hair. He looks like he can surely jump. He's tall, he's big. He has nice body, nice for an NBA standard, which is great because he's not too huge. He can still put on muscle, but he's not too wiry, so he looks like ooh, that's nice. That's a nice shot. I don't know if he's gonna get this to fall at the NBA level. He surely has some skills. He's not a complete. Ooh, you should not do that. Nice block. Yeah. Okay. I think that's clear. He's a great shot blocker. He has mobility, he has size, he can drive to the rim, and he seems to have a nice touch. I mean, he's doing some great stuff in this first game I'm seeing against UMBC, which I never heard of. So I'm a bit worried about the competition level, but ooh. Nice post move. I like it. He can, if he can develop this stuff, he can have a much bigger role in an NBA offense because post moves. Ooh, that was high. That was really high off the glass. Oh, damn. Sorry. I was talking about the fact that if he can develop those post skills and driving skills, he can have a much bigger role in an NBA offense, other than just being a lob catcher, cutter, and stuff like this, which is really useful in an NBA center to have, and he has potential to become something more. He's not that young though. He's like already 22, 23, which is same age as me, by the way. So I'm saying I'm old, which is basically roasting myself, but for an NBA player, he's not this young, but he has this weird pick and roll motion in which he basically do a fake screen and then just runs to the hoop, which is huge for his abilities. I'm liking what I'm. Sorry. What was that? This was a hell of a post. Damn. This was a hell of a poster. Wow. Yeah, he can jump. Definitely can jump. Though I haven't seen him do not even a pass, I think. Maybe he passed like 2 or 3 times. I'm gonna have to look at some deeper in-game stats just to understand better what type of player he is, so... This was illegal? This was clearly not legal. This was... Damn. This was, but he looks like a volleyball player when he does this type of blocks. This was nice. One thing I've noticed, which I'm not really liking, nice pass, nice dunk, is the fact that he kind of over relies on his physical tools. Nice ball control. Because he looks like he jumps every time someone like gets close to the rim. So in college you can do that because you're 7 feet tall. There's not that many guys as tall and athletic as you, so you can get away with that. I'm not sure he can do that at an NBA level, but I'm definitely gonna watch some more footage. This was bullying, to be honest. This is bullying, to be honest. But you see, he is much bigger than his opponents, much taller, much bulkier, and so he can get away with basically everything. But I'm not sure it can work at the NBA level. He needs to get better, but he has tools, which... This was brutal. He has tools that are unteachable. You know, here he can do stuff like this because opponents are smaller, but if you miss one contest and you're out of position for the offensive rebound, I think you'll get punished more in the NBA. He's not... Oh my goodness. I was saying he's not confident shooting. At this level, he doesn't need it. Though I'm gonna watch the way he shoots because I'm not sure about his shooting. That was a nice block though. This is what I'm talking about. He jumps like every time he has a man near his rim, he jumps to contest, which at the NBA level is not always a good idea, but this was vicious, to be honest. Another thing I'm missing a bit is transition buckets. You know, there has been some... This was great, but again, not against an NBA level athlete, in my opinion. I'm missing a bit of transition buckets. He seems a bit slow in transition for the few times I've seen him. He can run the floor, surely, but he doesn't seem that comfortable making buckets in transition, which should be a strength for him. Okay, never mind, he just did. But I mean, it was late second half, so game was basically over and he needed to do that. But I think he needs to do that much more consistently because all I'm seeing is basically half-court offense buckets, which are great because he shows he can work in half-court offenses. I think at the NBA level you need a bit more of transition, and this just shocked me because he was really patient. And again, he was patient. Okay, I'll stay silent. He has some defensive instincts though, so I think I might be wrong on him. Let's just analyze it. But he has defensive instincts. He needs to become better at basically everything. Oh, a kick out, which leads to a dunk, but it's a kick out. Something I haven't seen from him since. Okay, I have watched more videos, more footage about him, and now I can give you my opinion about him. I still like the pick for the Clippers because he has stuff that can be taught. He is 7 feet tall, and you can, stretch a guy to make him taller. And he's really athletic, and he has some defensive instincts that make me really, really interested in this pick. Now, he has some flaws. First thing, I think it's his age. Let me explain. In the NBA, as of today, you need to either be super young to be maybe a prospect at 19 and have time to develop into some kind of player, or if you're 22, 23, even 24, you need to be able to contribute right away. I think he's able to do it, but I think he's also much more a prospect because he has a lot of raw sides which must be smoothed out. The biggest flaw I found in him is the fact that he's meh at carrying the ball. Now, I'm not talking about handles, like guard handles, because I'm not expecting that in a center picked 30 overall. So I'm talking about passes. And it's a bit of a red flag for me, because if you want to be something more than just a transition scorer, pick and roll partner, and cutter at the NBA level, you need to be able to at least pass the ball out of double teams. He too often gets tunnel vision, tries to go to the rim even through double teams, and at the college level, where he's taller than anyone, stronger than basically everyone, he can do it. I don't think he can do it at the NBA level. I'm worried also because I've seen him lose balls in handoff situations, which is worrying because today one of the most useful skills for a center is to be able to do handoff passes. And if you lose balls on this kind of passes, it can really hurt your playing time. On the other side, though, I noticed one thing, which is the fact that he has a nice shooting form. He can shoot from the free throw line, and for what I've seen, he can try to develop a mid-range jumper and even some three-point range shooting. I've seen him try a three-pointer in a summer league game, which I think is huge because it means he's trying. It means he's willing to develop. He shows he's trying to get better at things out of his comfort zone and not only around the rim. In an interview, he said he must let out more his barbarian side, and so now his nickname is Conan the Barbarian from now on for the foreseeable future, and he's becoming like one of my favorite nicknames in the NBA right now. Now, let's talk about the fit. He's going to the Clippers, which after the draft, they picked up John Collins and Brook Lopez. I still think he's going to be useful. First, because Lopez is not that young, he's 36, if I recall correctly, and so he will need resting time. And secondly, because of the fact that he's the only center which is mobile enough to play something that is not drop coverage. He can sometimes switch on the perimeter, but is not going, as of today, to stay with quicker guards which will just blow by him and go to the rim. So I think it's still going to be useful, and if he develops properly, it can be a nice pick around the 30th, because he has flashes of everything a modern center needs: height, athleticism, some post skills, some shooting ability. If he can develop a respectable three-point shot, I'm talking about 30% kind of three-point shot, and some passing skills out of the post and get overall better at passing, I think he can be a starter from a really long time. Like, if he develops properly, I have no problem seeing him in the NBA like 10 years from today. Like in 2035, he can still be in the NBA, in my opinion, if he develops properly. If not, it's going to be hard for him because in the NBA you cannot over rely on physical tools if your physical tools are not really, really elite. So, that's all I had to say about Niederhauser. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me or not. And as soon as I possibly can, I will upload next video, which is going to talk about Liam McNeely, which had some huge performance in Summer League. And I think is gonna be a really nice player to talk about because it's a bit more particular than Niederhauser, which is more of a classical big late first round draft pick. So that's all, folks. See you next time.